Welcome back to the crossroads of Una Leska, exploring the path of diabolical witchcraft with Oleander Sky. The word daemon meant a lesser deity, a divine power, or a guiding spirit who is not inherently evil. So think about it. The word daemon in Greek developed and changed through religious texts, became associated with evil spirits, and leading to modern times to the word demon. So, when you are starting a new path, if this is for you or not, to have a journal. Before I even started sharing the names of these demons, I will only call them by the first alphabetical letter. I will describe briefly who they are, their gifts and their powers. This should help you understand who am I talking about. The reason why I've decided to explore this path is because I felt something was missing. I need to search for the truth through experience. We all should do that. And so, before judging a demon, I decided, you know what? I have been following Oleander Sky, and I'm very grateful that she published her own book. Little by little, I build exploration of, is this for me or not? I did call one of the watchers, and the first letter of this watcher's name was A, Alpha. Page 84, reasons to work with this demon: leadership, punishment, and teaches forbidden knowledge. Later, evening time, I then did an enchant by using Oleander's sigil. Since I was so sucked into this book, I followed her guidance. So instead of using blood, I took a pomegranate fruit and I cut it and I spoke to the pomegranate juice and said, "You're a substitute for my blood." And I just breathe on it, use my essence of my own energy holding that pomegranate. So I learned also as well from her book that giving an offering as a gift to these demons, like blackberry, blueberry, and red wine. I also used paper parchment and used the pomegranate juice and drew Oleander's sigil for that demon. Then, while it was burning with a black candle, I started talking to the candle as wherever the spirit of that demon could still hear me. And I said, "I am calling you and welcome you temporarily to my space. You have the choice to come freely, and with your essence of your visit would suffice. And I will greatly appreciate you coming." All right, so this was a Tuesday, 21 October, when I did this. And I will tell you, after I did that spell, I went to sleep. I was so tired. There was this heavy shift presence, and I was on the side of my bed, and it was like, I'm not leaving. It didn't spoke to me. It was just there. And since it didn't want to leave, I then opened my eyes. And although my back was facing this presence and I had my eyes open, through my eyes, I saw that presence in a figure. I could look regardless that I was ignoring it. It took more than 30 minutes. I respectfully said, "I'm tired. Thank you for visiting me. I know you exist." And I went back to sleep. To me, that was enough. He respected that, and then he left. So on a Saturday, 9 November, regardless that I did that, I was still being very vigilant, very observant, because I do have children. I also have a family. I was trying to see, is this going to be a danger? So the first thing I thought about myself while doing this, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to judge this demon or infernal beings. and I'm just going to respect it and welcome it. After those days, I felt being observed, that it was learning about me. And another thing I forgot to that I left out, I said I will keep my promise of putting makeup, because one of his influences, his powers, is cosmetics. So I said, for 4 days until the full moon, I am going to wear makeup and just take care of myself. And that's what I did. And honestly, it felt really good. And I usually don't wear makeup when I go to work, but I did. And I kept that promise. And I was very specific and said, from the beginning of my work time till the end of my work time, I'm going to wear that makeup and then I'm going to remove it. And so everything went well. That is the crawl face with that demon.
Me and the devil walking side by side.
Saturday, November 9th, I decided to read more about the Diabolical Witchcraft. And I got very interested in a protection amulet. I created this sigil according to the instructions of Oleander Sky. I charged on a struct from a tree, of a pine tree, by lightning, and charge those two sigils there. I put a lot of energy into those two sigils. When I went upstairs to my bed and sleep, I closed my eyes for a second. I instantly see this room while my eyes are closed, and the light of my room turns on after doing these sigils. To me, that was like an invitation of me welcoming these infernal beings. I'm going to skip because then I do want to share. Ever since that happened, that demon has not bothered me. It hasn't harmed me, it hasn't harmed my family. They have many other responsibilities to be worrying about someone like me.
When everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think they'd understand.
Today is Sunday, December 14th. I did wanted to share this with you. After all of this, I have been, would say, pondering, studying, who do I want to work with? Is it still with that watcher? So I'm still studying about this demon. And I went to would say, a wellness, decided to buy 2 crystals that I bought. This is apatite. This is really good to enhance and stimulate your 5 senses and to communicate and connect with different entities. Doesn't matter, infernal, angelic, whatever, or deities. So that was one. And I also decided to buy a small labradorite. Purpose is to enhance your dreams, have it vividly for you can remember your dreams. So then did a small ritual with Goddess Hecate, and I lit a black candle for her. From bottom to top, I wrote her name. Then I did a black candle for me from bottom to top, and I wrote my name. And I wrote the purpose for these candles. This candle of mine is for protection. And while I was requesting protection for different areas of my life, like for example, spiritual protection, health protection, whatever, there was many. I just decided to incorporate in that candle and inscribe. And something in me, I decided to take a key, and I took the key, and before speaking to her, I did the same process with the cinnamon. I took it in my mouth, clapped my hands twice, and then afterwards, I decided to use the key to unlock my 5 senses, my crown chakra, in order to understand my higher self, my third eye, in order to see the other dimension and the frequency around me, my eyes, in order to see, my nose, in order to sense around me, my mouth, in order to speak and communicate with these infernal or angelic beings or deities, my ears, in order to hear them and understand them regardless of any language, and my heart chakra, in order to have an understanding of balancing my ego. Besides that, I also then I unlock all areas and ask you, Goddess, to unlock the paths of enhancing all of my 5 senses and increasing my gifts to understand what path I want to take. This is the crossroad of Yunaliska. learning and experiencing what I want to do, who I want to build a relationship with. So then after that, I got the two crystals and I spoke to Goddess Hecate. Besides learning about these beings, these deities, and learning about witchcraft, I would need your guidance. I said, I need your guidance. I want to know, where is my path? Show me. And I went with the first appetite. I blew with my breath on it in order to awaken the spirit of this crystal. And I placed it on my third eye. And then I closed my eyes, allowed it to just be on top and vibrate that energy on my crown chakra. And then after that, I switched and did the same with this labradorite and just spoke to Goddess Hecate and asked her to please listen and please accept my request if she wanted. And after that, giving me these downloads of this is what you need to do. So I then decided to sleep with both of these. But instead of like to wear it as a necklace or you put on your clothes, I'm going to try something different because I've had a labradorite and just put it on my desk. I've had dreams, but not much. So I'm just gonna, and I have a big sphere of labradorite. I'm just gonna place it on my hands. Maybe it's different because I'm touching my skin. This is my hand of receiving, my hand to give things away. I slept with that. I woke up around 3 a.m. I don't know, majority of the times I'm waking up during that time. So I woke up, couldn't go to sleep, and then went back to sleep. And I was still sleeping with this. I dreamed about a demon. And this demon, I'm going to read it from the book of Oleander Sky. That way you understand who is this demon. So this is a king demon. And the alphabetical letter for him is P, Papa. So I did not call this demon. I did not search for, do anything. That demon came to my dreams. And I wasn't even familiarized like gifts or what's the powers that belongs to this demon. And okay, here it is. Reasons to work with this demon. So I think I should share this later because I want to share what happened in the dream. That way you understand, okay, this is the reason why, and you can tell me. I'm going to hashtag Oleander Sky. Maybe she has an understanding because I don't want to think, oh yeah, he wants to work with you. So I was in this room, and in this room, I was in my military uniform, and I was sitting at a table. And across the table, there was this gentleman. He did not look that old. He did not look that young. He did look elegant. And he approached me and he said,
How can I help you?
and he looked at my hand. And when I looked at my hand, you see there's nothing. I noticed that this tattoo was smaller. This is the symbol of Jupiter. It was here, smaller, with other planets. And then the tattoo had these designs like a labyrinth until it was going up, and your coats that you wear for your uniform, it's covering your wrists. And I just then felt on my knee underneath the table something like and bumping gently. And I looked down and I see a ram. This ram was a baby ram. I don't know. And the color of this baby ram had black eyes. It was blue and white, grayish. I got up and decided to take off my coat. And when I look, it's like it was like an automatic tattoo being inscribed onto my skin. And it was all black. And I heard, while I saw the sigil, I heard a voice, and it looked like it was that demon, speaking and saying, King P. And then it also had a inverted triangle, and it said upside down. Something about upside down. I don't know. And then I was like, what is this? And then automatically, when I was like, understand what's happening, the exit door of where I was in the room, it turned into fire. And I know for some reason that where that room was, there was a hallway. In that hallway, there was another room. In that room, there's someone who I really care and I really love. And so I immediately started running over there. And when I got there, the dude was with me, who was like, how can I help you? So he was just observing, and the person who I care was sleeping on the bed. And I saw this lesser demon appear, and it looked like he wanted to either attack me, but when he tried to, this lesser demon, I had my two stones in my hands. And I approached to it and I said, this is not your purpose. This is not what you do. And I placed these 2 stones on this demon. And I said, this is not what demons do. And it slept and fell. And I went and woke him up while this man was just observing me. And I took the person that I care about and said, let's go. And he followed me. And we went back to where the fire of the entrance was and exit the place and went into this pickup truck. This pickup truck looked like I don't know, it had a ram as well. And it was silver, the vehicle. And I was in there with the person that I truly care about. And this elegant man was in there too. While this person who was driving with someone else was driving so fast to the speed that it looked like he wanted to crash us all. And I said out loud and screamed, I am in control. After that, everything froze. And then I woke up. I had my crystals when I woke up. Look around. We had the window open. Wind coming in, whatever, nothing. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back to sleep. And I'm going to see, what does this mean? And I went back to sleep and I dreamed again and remembered. I was in the same room, but this time this man wasn't there. And it was a female demon. And she would get infuriated with the people who I was and say, you need a paint. And she would give them a paintbrush. And they would refuse and she would burn them. And then she said, your turn. And she gave me the paintbrush. And I received it and I started painting. Painting is what I love to do. And I did it. And then after I finished painting, the canvas that I was painting on then converted into like silvery puzzle connecting. My little cuckoo clock. It converted itself into a beautiful flower. And after that, oh, and I could describe the place where I was. It was rustic and it had a vine, like vines. After that, I teleported to another room. And then there was this guy who spoke to me. It wasn't the same guy, it was different. And he said, in order to remove your tattoo of this sigil, of this demon, you need to call Archangel Michael. And then I saw a rustic, like in wooden bureau, and I saw the triplicity of Archangel Michael carved in wood. And I took Archangel Michael and I just put him in my, like, I think I had it a bag or somewhere on me. And then I saw a black frame. It looked like obsidian. And I said, Archangel Michael, are you there? And Archangel Michael was walking through, but he was still in the frame of that dark, it was like a divination tool, but in a form of a frame. And I could see his color, like red, and there was gold. And then his armor. And he said, in order for you to have that tattoo removed, you need to pray to me and ask me, Archangel Michael, remove the name of the demon. And then when he was saying that, the name of the demon, I didn't say anything. I still stood silent. I hesitant to say the name of this demon. And I heard that king's demon voice in a stern voice saying, Defiance. And I'm having chills up here on my neck because I'm trying to avoid, like, I don't want, trying to get to know you. I look into the meaning of defiance. And defiance means bold disobedience, open resistance. That's what it means. Demonstration was held in defiance of official warnings. So I woke up after that. And I shared it with some friends, asked for their advice. They've never worked with this king demon. And they're like, I think demon want to work with you. And I'm like, don't know why. I've never called. And they're like, have you? And I'm like, no, I don't even know about him. I just want to share. So I don't know. What can this dream mean? It could mean many things. So I don't know what to expect. How did I feel after the dream? I did not feel concerned, not worried. I was like, holy shit, all right. And I did to verify. I did verify with, because I wanted to have an understanding. I did divination through the stones. I followed Jack Grill's stone divination and created 3 black stones, which indicates the heaven, not the earth, and the world, and the ocean, water. It's in the Hecatian book, and there's a ritual to live in those stones, and you use your breath and you awaken those stones to have Goddess Hecate communicate and give you a yes through the black stones or a no through the white stones. And so I went and shared with Goddess Hecate what I dream about. I asked her, did you invite this demon, or are you guiding me to this demon? She's like, no. Was this demon instructed by the other demon who I call I would say the emperor of demons, who is with a letter L. The reason why I brought him is because I did a friend a oil and incense for, and I was wondering, due to me doing that incense and oil for my friend as a gift and in honor of the emperor demon, was the reason why this king came to me, or was it due to the watcher? And she's like, no. And I asked, did this demon came on its own accord voluntarily? And she said, yes. I did ask, does this demon want to work with me? And she's, yes. And I solely and I truly, truly trust on the divination stones that I use to communicate with Goddess Hecate, because I have brought other friends and other people to ask questions in order to not only test it for myself, but to see if it does happen. Like, they've asked predictions to her and asked, will I, like, for example, will I be in a relationship prior to this other person? And she said, yes. Is this person cheating on me? She's like, yes. And then after all that started unfolding, although she didn't know, and she's like, what Goddess Hecate said was true. It all happened. Things that I've asked her or that she's communicated with me, it has happened too. So I do trust what I receive from Goddess Hecate, but I don't know. From that dream, I have a feeling that the observer was that demon king, P. And he was just observing like my actions to see if I would like be in distress or be scared. I was not scared. I was like, I'm gonna fucking take action and deal with this shit. And that's what I demonstrated and did. So I don't know. I, I don't know. I think there's more. This is a crawling phase, as they call it, crawl, walk, and then run phase. But right now I'm in the crawling phase. And what do you think? Do you think that this demon is trying to um, find a way to communicate with me and have me connect with him in a form and do something? But put it in the comments. Ask me. Um, but after all of this sequence of building this exploring path with the diabolical witchcraft, all I can say is it's been rewarding. I am continuing to study more books because, yes, I love diabolical witchcraft, but I also want to learn more from different grimoires as well to ensure that I am giving the dedication to that infernal being, that I am getting to put all my energy to learn about them. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I think it's very important that we continue getting to know thyself, getting to learn what path you want to follow, and just have that own discernment. Is this for you or not? So you might ask me, the question is, do you feel safe? I do feel safe. Are you worried? I'm not worried. Or fear? I don't fear. I think it has something to do with dealing with your own fears. If it's something that you fear and judge these infernal beings this way, they're going to react that way. And I've observed and experimented to see if this is true. And to me, it's true. I'm not showing any fear. All I do is show respect, know that there's different hierarchies, however you pronounce it well. You know, I speak Spanish, so it might not be all perfect. But um, also, just they can hear your thoughts. They know your true intentions. You can't hide, and there must be a reason. For me, in my own opinion, there's something I must learn from. And so I am going to open the Black Grimoire of Diabolical Witchcraft and go to the powers of this demon. And I never looked at, okay, I really want to work with this demon. I didn't, I've heard of it. I'm like, I'm not working with any kings at all. Never have brought me any interest. I said, I'm going to start from the low. But reason to work with this demon. And I resonated with this because I have been wanting to enhance my gift. Grant titles, I'm not interested in that. Knowledge of the earth and science, yes. Necromancy, yes. Provide familiars, I have been thinking about that. and reveal hidden things. Truth, always been wondering. And water magic. I've been studying as well about water, the ocean. Yeah, tell me what you think. Um, but I hope you enjoyed this video. And please smash that like button and subscribe and put all. If you put all, you'll be able to receive notification for all my videos. If you put, I believe it's other, you're not going to receive notifications. You just subscribe and you'll miss videos. Thank you for your support. For those who have been returning subscribers, if you're new, welcome. It is time for you to spiritually arm yourself. To me, getting to know, explore is spiritually arming yourself to get to know these entities, these deities, these infernal beings, then blindly fearing and not knowing what's out there and how to protect yourself. That's another thing. And how to interact with them. Study, study, study. Thank you, Oleander Sky. Thank you for your support as well. And oh, one more last thing. So before even posting it, I was being very doubtful of sharing this video in regards to my exploration of the diabolical witchcraft path, because I wanted to ensure that I asked permission. So I asked permission through Goddess Hecate if I can post this video of my experience and also her trying to communicate with this demon. And she said it was okay. And I think there's a reason why of sharing this. So please show your support to Oleander Sky. Please explore, experience. Don't limit yourself, okay? Let's say, what should I say? Everybody has like a saying. I would say when you're spiritually awakened, the bells will ring, and all these spiritual entities and all these different deities, infernal beings, angelic beings will know because of that bell. And I can tell you that it is true. Not because of this stream, but when I first barely dived into witchcraft and I started with herbs and nature and connecting and building my apothecary and just cleansing and did the basics and light a candle without working with any or building a relationship with any deity, my world changed. Your world will, like your view, your perception, you will see and feel things never you have. And I think people who are religiously scammed fear and limit themselves and spiritually disarm of their gifts because they don't know how to. It's been forgotten for a long time. And so you're in the right place. I hope you understand that there's more to you being spiritually awakened and that you be guided and protected. And I hope the best for all of us, for each and every one of you. I'm just saying that because that's what I feel. This is to welcome those who don't understand what is spirituality, what is witchcraft, what is knowing the unknown. So may you be, I would say, may you be in between the two worlds of duality. Have discernment and know thyself. Have a nice day. Have a good evening. It's 6:19 p.m. I'm gonna try to edit this and see if I can upload it today, Sunday. But if not, it's okay.